Alarms blared through the cramped confines of the exploration vessel, Intrepid as it hurtled through the inky blackness of deep space. Klara Voronina, the ship's grizzled captain, gripped the armrests of her command chair, her knuckles whitening. "Report!" she barked at her first officer, Ven. Ven's fingers danced across the holographic controls. "We've picked up a massive energy signature, bearing 327 Mark 41. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Klara leaned forward, her brow furrowed. On screen, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a swirling vortex of incandescent colors, pulsing with raw power. Clara's breath caught in her throat. After decades of fruitless exploration, they had finally found something extraordinary. "Analysis," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Preliminary scans indicate it's some kind of wormhole," Ven replied, his eyes wide with awe and trepidation. "But the energy readings are off the charts. It's like nothing in the databases." Klara nodded slowly, her mind racing. A wormhole could mean a gateway to new worlds, new civilizations, or it could be a one-way trip to oblivion. She had to make a choice, and she had to make it now. "Set a course," she said finally. "We're going in." The Intrepid emerged from the wormhole into a star system unlike any other. Planets of every hue, crimson, azure, emerald, hung suspended in a breathtaking cosmic dance, their orbits defying the known laws of physics. "Where are we?" Ven whispered, his voice tinged with equal parts wonder and dread. Before Klara could respond, a blinding light engulfed the Intrepid, forcing the crew to shield their eyes. When the brilliance faded, a massive construct hovered before them, a vast geometric lattice that seemed to stretch on forever. "My God," Klara murmured. "It's a Dyson sphere." The comm crackled to life, and a resonant voice boomed through the speakers. "Greetings, travelers. We have been expecting you." Klara exchanged a bewildered glance with Ven. "Who are you? What is this place?" "We are the architects," the voice replied. "This is the Nexus, the heart of our domain. You have breached the outer frontier, a place long forbidden to your kind." Clara's mind raced as she tried to make sense of the architect's words. "Our kind? You mean humans?" "Indeed," the voice boomed. "For eons, we have guided the development of countless civilizations, nurturing their growth from humble beginnings to interstellar prowess. Yet your species proved resistant to our influence." Ven leaned towards Klara, his brow furrowed. "What are they talking about, Cap?" Before she could respond, the voice continued. "You humans are an anomaly, a race of singular resilience and ingenuity. Where others embraced our guidance, you rebelled, charting your own path through the cosmos." Klara felt a surge of pride swell within her. "So that's why you kept us isolated? Because we wouldn't play by your rules?" "Precisely," the architect replied. "Your unpredictability posed a threat to the order we have maintained across the galaxy. But now, it seems, you have found your way to the Nexus. And for that, there must be consequences." A tremor ran through the Intrepid as the Dyson sphere began to constrict around them, its lattice tightening like a vice. "You cannot be allowed to spread chaos throughout our domain," the voice intoned. "Your journey ends here." Clara's hands flew across the controls, rerouting auxiliary power to the engines. "Ven, get us out of here." Maximum thrust. The Intrepid's engines roared to life, straining against the inexorable force of the Dyson sphere. But it was no use. The lattice had them in an unbreakable grip. "It's not working, Cap," Ven shouted over the wail of the engines. "We're caught." Klara slammed her fist against the armrest, her jaw set in grim determination. "Like hell we are." She opened a ship-wide channel. "All hands. This is the captain. Brace for impact. We're going to show these architects what human ingenuity is all about. With a deft series of commands, Klara activated the Intrepid's experimental warp drive, a cutting-edge technology that had never been field-tested. Energy crackled across the hull as the drive spooled up, its resonance frequency modulating to match that of the Dyson sphere's lattice. "Hang on," Klara yelled. The warp drive unleashed a blinding torrent of energy, phasing the Intrepid through the lattice in a feat of subatomic manipulation. For a breathless moment, the ship existed in two planes of reality simultaneously. And then it was through, hurtling back into the depths of space. Klara allowed herself a tight smile as the Dyson sphere shrank behind them. Not so predictable after all, am I right? As the Intrepid's crew caught their collective breath, Klara studied the star charts, plotting a course back through the wormhole, back to the realm of human space. "Captain," Ven said hesitantly, "are we really just going to leave? After everything we've seen?" Klara turned to face him, her expression inscrutable. "You heard the architects, Ven. They don't want us spreading our chaos through their perfect little universe." She allowed a feral grin to spread across her weathered features. "So that's exactly what we're going to do." With a few taps, she uploaded the Intrepid sensor data to a tight beam transmission, broadcasting the coordinates of the Nexus across every subspace frequency. "They wanted to keep us isolated?" she said. "Well, now the rest of humanity knows where to find them. If the architects think they can contain us, they're in for a rude awakening." She fixed Ven with a steely gaze. "Plot a course for the wormhole. It's time we brought the frontier home." The Intrepid's journey back through the wormhole was fraught with tension. Klara could feel the weight of their discovery pressing down on her shoulders. The Nexus, the architects, the revelation that humanity had been deliberately isolated. It was almost too much to process. But there was no time for reflection. They had to get back and warn the rest of humanity. "Status report," Klara ordered as the ship stabilized on the other side of the wormhole. Ven's fingers flew over the controls. "All systems nominal, Captain. We're back in known space." Klara nodded, her mind already racing ahead. "Good. Set a course for Earth. We need to debrief with command immediately." As the Intrepid sped towards Earth, Klara gathered her senior officers in the briefing room. Ven, the ship's engineer Talia, and the medical officer Dr. Malik sat around the table, their faces etched with concern. "We've just encountered something that changes everything," Klara began. "The architects have been manipulating the development of civilizations across the galaxy, and they've kept us isolated because they see us as a threat." Talia's eyes widened. "A threat? Why?" "Because we don't follow their rules," Klara replied. "We chart our own path, and that makes us unpredictable. They fear the chaos we could bring to their carefully controlled order." Dr. Malik leaned forward, his brow furrowed. "So what do we do now?" Klara's gaze was steely. "We prepare. The architects won't take kindly to us broadcasting their location. We need to be ready for whatever comes next." The Intrepid's arrival at Earth was met with a flurry of activity. Klara and her crew were whisked away to a secure briefing room deep within the United Earth Command headquarters. High-ranking officials, including Admiral Hayes and General Liu, listened intently as Klara recounted their encounter with the architects. "This is unprecedented," Admiral Hayes said, his voice tinged with awe. "If what you're saying is true, it means we've been part of a galactic experiment without even knowing it." General Liu's expression was grim. "And now that we've found the Nexus, the architects will see us as a direct threat. We need to mobilize our defenses." Klara nodded. "Agreed. But we also need to understand more about the architects and their technology. If we can find a way to counter their control, we might be able to level the playing field." As the meeting adjourned, Klara felt a sense of urgency. The architects were out there, and they wouldn't sit idly by while humanity prepared for war. Weeks passed in a blur of activity. Earth was abuzz with preparations for the inevitable confrontation with the architects. Fleets were mobilized, new technologies were developed, and alliances were forged with other human colonies across the galaxy. Klara found herself at the center of it all, coordinating efforts and strategizing with military leaders. But she knew they needed more than just brute force. They needed allies. "Captain, we've received a transmission from the Andromeda Coalition," Ven reported one morning. "They want to discuss a potential alliance." Klara's eyes lit up. The Andromeda Coalition was a powerful faction of human colonies known for their advanced technology and strategic acumen. An alliance with them could tip the scales in humanity's favor. "Set up a secure channel," Klara ordered. "Let's hear what they have to say." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the stern visage of Admiral Kuroda, the leader of the Andromeda Coalition. "Captain Voronina, it's an honor," Kuroda said, his voice resonant with authority. "We've reviewed your report on the architects. This is a threat that concerns us all." Klara nodded. "Agreed, Admiral. We need to stand united if we're going to have any chance of resisting their control." Kuroda's expression softened slightly. "We are prepared to offer our support. Our scientists have been working on a new type of energy shield that could protect our ships from the architects' technology. We can share this with you, along with our tactical expertise." Klara felt a surge of hope. "Thank you, Admiral. Together, we can show the architects that humanity won't be controlled." As preparations continued, Klara couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. There were whispers of dissent among the ranks, rumors of a faction that believed humanity should submit to the architects rather than fight them. One evening, as she reviewed tactical plans in her quarters, Ven burst in, his face pale. "Captain, we've got a problem," he said, his voice urgent. "There's been a security breach. Someone's been transmitting our plans to an unknown recipient." Klara's heart sank. "Who?" Ven hesitated. "We don't know yet, but the transmissions were traced to someone on the Intrepid." Klara's mind raced. A traitor in their midst could jeopardize everything. "Lock down the ship. No one comes or goes until we find out who did this." As the investigation unfolded, tensions ran high. The crew was on edge, knowing that one of their own had betrayed them. Finally, the culprit was revealed: Lieutenant Harper, a communications officer who had been with the Intrepid since its maiden voyage. Klara confronted Harper in the brig, her eyes blazing with anger. "Why, Harper? Why would you do this?" Harper's expression was defiant. "Because the architects are right. Humanity is a threat to itself and the galaxy. If we submit to their control, we can avoid a war that will destroy us all." Klara's jaw tightened. "You betrayed your own people for a lie. The architects don't want to save us. They want to control us. And we won't let that happen." With the traitor dealt with, Klara refocused her efforts on preparing for the inevitable confrontation. The combined forces of Earth and the Andromeda Coalition stood ready, their ships bristling with new technology and weapons. The day of reckoning arrived sooner than expected. The architects' fleet emerged from the wormhole, a vast armada of sleek, alien vessels that dwarfed anything humanity had ever seen. "All hands, battle stations," Klara ordered, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "This is it. We fight for our freedom, for our future." The battle that ensued was fierce and chaotic. The architects' ships were powerful, but humanity's ingenuity and determination proved to be a formidable match. The new energy shields held up against the onslaught, and the combined tactics of Earth and the Andromeda Coalition began to turn the tide. As the battle raged on, Klara found herself face to face with the architects' flagship. She knew this was their chance to strike a decisive blow. "Target their command center," she ordered. "All weapons, fire." The Intrepid's weapons unleashed a torrent of energy, piercing the flagship's defenses and causing it to erupt in a blinding explosion. The remaining architect ships faltered, their coordination disrupted. "Press the attack," Klara shouted. "We have them on the run." With their flagship destroyed, the architect's fleet began to retreat, vanishing back through the wormhole. Cheers erupted across the comms as the realization of their victory sank in. In the aftermath of the battle, Klara stood on the bridge of the Intrepid, looking out at the stars. They had faced the architects and won, but she knew this was just the beginning. "Captain, incoming transmission from Admiral Kuroda," Ven reported. Klara nodded. "Put it through." Kuroda's holographic image appeared, a rare smile on his face. "Congratulations, Captain. Today, we proved that humanity will not be controlled." Klara smiled back. "Thank you, Admiral, but we still have a lot of work to do. The architects won't give up easily." Kuroda's expression turned serious. "Agreed. But today, we showed them that we are not to be underestimated. Together, we will continue to stand against any threat that comes our way." As the transmission ended, Klara felt a sense of hope and determination. The galaxy was vast and full of challenges, but humanity had proven its resilience and strength. "Set a course for the Nexus," she ordered. "It's time we took the fight to them." As the Intrepid's engines roared to life, Klara knew that the journey ahead would be long and difficult. But with allies by their side and the indomitable spirit of humanity driving them forward, they would face whatever came next with courage and resolve. The stars awaited, and humanity was ready to claim its place among them.